Hey everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the show. We're grateful to have you with us, and we thank you for your love and support over the years and over 420 episodes of the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show. Without you, we wouldn't have a show to do. We wouldn't have a reason to do a show. And we're this is ecstatic to be able to bring this to you. Uh, just very, very humbled as well. Uh, this show, this organization, it's bigger than one person. Uh, it encompasses everybody across the world, everybody sharing their voice in whatever way, whichever way that they're able to. And for those that aren't able to as easily, for able to share their voice for them and do it justice, that that is very helpful as well. So uh, this show, the Voices for Voices organization, the Voices for Voices podcast, the TV show, all this is for everybody across the world. So that should give you a little insight when you hear me talk about helping over 3 billion people uh, in over 300 countries and over 3,000 cities across the world. Uh, because we all have a voice and we're using it, and we have an opportunity. If we would like, you can reach out if you are interested in wanting to share your voice or a voice of another with us and the world. And we would be humbled and grateful if that would be something you would like to do. So just reach out to us, let us know, and we will we'll, we'll make it work. Uh, Secondly, you probably have noticed by this point with this episode when it drops that we're doing some new things. One of the new things is we're posting clips. So instead of the whole entire episode to watch or listen, that's the hallmark. That's the foundation of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. But what we're finding is we don't want to leave anybody out. And after all these episodes, it's come to our attention that we're leaving people out and we don't want to. And so that is what we have started to do. So you're going to see, or you either have or you will be seeing, uh, as far as those social media posts, you're going to see for the entire show, uh, all the links. And, then you're going to see an additional posts, additional social media posts with clips. So more bite-sized pieces of our show. We're not going to eat the show. They don't want to come out like that. no, nobody. We're not eating the show. That's not happening. Uh, but we're gonna continue what we've started here as of late, and have the ability for you. Maybe you're one of the individuals that that fits your schedule much easier, and we may not have been able to reach you until this point. So that's one thing that we're doing. That's that's brand new for 2026. Uh, I don't know. I don't think we're going to go back in time uh, to do the clips. Um, I don't think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. What we're doing is when we met and had a meeting. That's when we started, and so I think that's what we're going to just continuously do for episodes going forward. When we go back in time, uh, which sometimes happens, right? Sometimes we get on such a schedule that we may have to go back in time to get those full episode posts out for particular platforms. I'm not saying that is happening. I'm saying it may happen. And so when that happens, anything in the past from when we started, we will do the full post for the full episode, and you'll still have all of the all the platforms, all the links as you always had. Uh, but as far as the clips go, it helps us reach a brand new audience that we I don't want to say, but we didn't do it on purpose. Uh, we it's just with as you know the way life goes, things happen, and sometimes like in a sometimes in a an easy to understand order, like one, two, three, four, five. And sometimes it goes one, two, six, three. And so that was kind of where we're at when it comes to the clips, having, the shorter bite size, yeah, parts of our show available on the social media. And then the same links to all the platforms are on those posts as well. So you're really getting, call it like four doses of each episode on the social media post wise, because on all four. So the one, which is like the first one when we say, yep, we're dropping this episode. Here's the number, here's the title, here are all the links, all the platforms, hashtags, and then we're shooting for at least three clips per episode going forward. And then those three plus that one equals four. I know we're doing math here. Uh, so in all four of those, you'll have the ability and say, oh, what was the link to this particular? show, and you'll be able to look for different spots and across your feed, across your stories, your reels, all those to find where you can go directly to that full episode. And it might even be, oh, what's the latest? Or, oh, I know I missed 3 episodes. So how do I go back and forth? And so with the clips, it just gives us more flexibility, bringing uh, again more people together, which is what we're trying to do. Not what we're trying, we are doing. We're uniting, we're bringing people together, we're not dividing, and so that's huge. Uh, I don't think we realize how huge it was or is until we started to see the numbers, like the downloads from episodes viewed, uh, listened to. Very powerful, very powerful. And so once we started to see some of that early analytic information, we were able to say internally in our organization that this is probably a good thing to do. And we can always, look back, hindsight always is 2020 and say, oh, wish we would have done this last year and wish we would have done this from the beginning. Well, again, we're a small organization and we can only do so much in a given day, in a given week, month, year, etc. So we're here. So we're here. And so going forward, we are catering more to our consumer of our podcast and TV show. And it's something that's exciting. Like always invigorating, but it's almost like this is kind of reinvigorating. Let me give you an example, as I always do. So in my neck of the woods, where where I am residing, the weather is cold, very chilly, and so I forget exactly when it was that I went out to go out to the car to go somewhere, go out to my car, and it wouldn't turn over. And I just got the feeling it was the battery. So luckily or unluckily, that's happened to me in the past. But luckily, I was in my own driveway. I wasn't on the road, on the side of a road, uh, which also happened another time that I was luckily at home when the symptoms for at least getting a technician out to take a look and do their diagnostics. So I did his diet. The gentleman did the diagnostics, gave me the data, the numbers, the percentages, and I was like, oh, yeah, definitely need a new battery. So old battery taken out, new battery installed. And, and so I kind of felt like, okay, I have my car back. My car should run now. It should start. It should run. Uh, and it did. And so that was very good news. And so that reinvigoration in a little bit of symbolic way uh, parallels the battery. Just like if we troubleshoot and go, wow, the weather's really cold. And we know that the colder the weather, the air in the tires goes down. When the weather's warmer, the air in the tires stays a lot longer. And so that also occurred. So I got reinvigorated from the battery, got reinvigorated with getting the four tires uh, filled to the appropriate levels. And there's always, at least for me, seems like there's usually always one of the four tires that is like much lower than the other ones. And that I don't know what that is, what that means. But that was what happened again very recently after getting the battery installed. And more over the years, more and more, if you have, gas stations and places, they charge. They're like, well, we can make some extra money here. And so you can either go and pay or go and not pay, meaning that it's not all places charge to check air pressure in your tires. I think, I think personally that it is a public safety concern that being able to have the appropriate levels of air in our tires of our vehicles, whether for work or personal. I think it's a public safety concern. Uh, what if what if somebody's not able to pay the money? And I know we're talking about a small amount of money to pay to get the air pressure checked and then, taken out, or usually it's put back in, as usually the numbers are low, and so we're, looking for a way to uh, install the air into the tires. So that would be something I'd like to see. But I don't make the laws, I don't make the rules. But that's just something personally I think that, we get nickel and dimed almost everywhere we go, everything we do. It's like, well, it would be helpful. it'd be a value add. It might actually gain more customers to your convenient gas station, hybrid, or just the gasoline. It could. Again, that's something what can be looked at as a small thing. But people go, oh, well, I can I can get free air here and I actually need gas. And if I don't have an electric vehicle or hydrogen, and I probably could use a little gas in my gas tank. I'm just thinking from experience. Now, if there's like a car dealership or a mechanic, they don't have a gas station there, but it might also make you or I at the sign of trouble with our cars, we might say, "Oh, they have free air," and maybe we just happen to be in the right geographic location, and maybe that's what we do, and maybe we go for service because of that. Maybe we don't. But if we look at, I don't know what the cost is to put in an air machine that tells you, how many PSIs, the tires are at, and then you know what number you have to, how much you have to put on, like that. Like let's say uh, a person filled up their tires before you, it was like 36 PSI. And maybe mine is 33. So I'd have to make sure I change the numbers on the on the machine. But that's a rather in the grand scheme of life, it's one of the easier things, I think, to do. So all this to bring it back, to be reinvigorated. And that's what I feel that the clips are doing. But what they have done already, what they have done, what they are doing currently, and as we go forward, I think it's a good thing. I think it's something we needed to do. Now we're doing it. So now I can stop you know, the the negative self-talk that comes in my mind of like, well, Justin, no voices, you should have did this, a year ago. And I'm trying to tune out the noise, or at least that noise especially, and say, I can't change that. There's certain things I just can't change. And I can't change where we were at 100 when we were at episode 165. I can't help. Like I can go, oh, I wish. And then, we can always look back and say, oh, I wonder what would happen. Or we could say, I'm happy we found out about this now. And so now we just work on ways to make our processing of our shows the most efficient for our viewers, our listeners, more as efficient as possible for us as an organization. when we're processing episodes and making sure we pick the right clips, the right mix. They say that, the power of threes. And so that's what we're gonna do going forward. I I invite your feedback if you like those. They are the same, better, worse as the full episode posts. And who knows, maybe the clips turn into our episode dropping. Maybe that's how we drop episodes going forward at some point. I don't know. We needed a lot more data. We need to do it for a little bit more um, before we make that call because we're creatures. Human beings. We like habit, even if sometimes the habits aren't the best. So sometimes we are so used to seeing a particular thing in a particular place in a particular time, and sometimes that doesn't matter so much. So we just need more data. So it's the non-glamorous part of this. But without that data, we wouldn't have known that we could be potentially missing out on a portion of human beings across the world, and we don't want that. And so that's what we're going to do is what we have been doing. We definitely increase the volume of shows and the content. And so we look at other ways. So we look at other ways of reaching people that might not know about Voices for Voices, that might all of a sudden catch it in their feed because a friend of theirs liked it, shared it, subscribed, thumbs up, followed, and that could lead, as it often does, right? It often leads to at least the potential of others seeing that and going, oh, what's this? What's Voices for Voices? What's this all about? So we feel reinvigorated. I feel reinvigorated. My car feels reinvigorated. Not just the battery feeling reinvigorated because we got the old out that needed juiced up and we got the new one in and we got the tires at the correct PSI, which is just the number. So you just look for the number. Like sometimes maybe the front two tires maybe have a certain number PSI. Like if you get in like, exotic or sports cars or others, they may have maybe a little bit different. Um, and so that's what you just want to make sure what the case is before we start just going, oh, looks like the last person at 33 PSI, so that's what I'm going to do. And I didn't know. At the beginning of driving, I didn't know that. I learned, and I don't know exactly when, but I learned that you open the door and kind of in that panel where like when you shut the door and then you can lock it or unlock it, it'll show you, what PSI uh, the tires, and it'll have most of them have electronics in a dashboard where you can see that, and sometimes there's a flashing light that could mean a multitude of things, and one of those could be, well, tire pressure and the right front is low. It's supposed to be at 33, it's at 27. Probably should increase it. Those types of things. So, who would have thought that a new car battery and getting my four tires to the right PSI to be able to be the most fuel efficient as possible? Who would have thought that a car battery, air, and my car tires would cross over with being reinvigorated with clips of our Voices for Voices podcast and TV show? Who would have thought? It's amazing. It's amazing how things happen. It is. It really is. Uh, but they do. They match. They, symbolically are parallel on parallel paths. And that's all just in the last week and a day or so. So that's just incredible by itself. The fact that we're doing a show and we're able to have that crossover. And we want to say thank you so very much for tuning in to the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. Hopefully, there's a few chuckles, a few laughs, uh, a little lighthearted show. We try to do that from time to time because we know life's hard as it is, and when we can when we can relate getting a new car battery and air in all four tires and have that having my car be reinvigorated and line that and cross that with our organization, Voices for Voices, and our show and our podcast, how we can feel reinvigorated because we're bringing something brand new that our viewers, our listeners, uh, our followers on our social media feeds, that they're now seeing and hearing for the first times, going, "Oh, I like this. This is a good idea." I'm glad Voices for Voices did that. So thank you very much. We're glad that you joined us for this episode. Over 420 episodes in our portfolio. I can assure you 30 to 50 at least will find its their way into your mind of the topic, the guest. Give it a try, give it a shot. And if you can reach out the 25, 50, 100 people, text them, group text, a group chat, post on your social media uh, platform. Let them know about the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show. and how we want to help over 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. We want to reach over 300 countries, territories, provinces, and over 3,000 cities throughout my lifetime and beyond. We're only third. See, the power of three. You have the Joe Rogan experience, you have Dan Bongino show, and you have the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show. And as you saw and heard today on this show, the power of three of new car battery, Ford tires being inflated to what the manufacturer asks, and having that cross with the clips. So until we see you next time, have a great day. Be a voice for you or somebody in need, and let's celebrate the voices of everybody across the world. And let's help unite. Let's help unite. We're uniters. Nothing but love coming from us to you, whether you're a believer or not. We're sending good vibes your way. So take care. We love you, and we'll see you very, very soon.